Hi guys, welcome back to day 12 of our 21-day yoga challenge. We are over that halfway mark, and there's something that's quite satisfying about getting to that halfway point. You know that once you've overcome that way, it's downhill from then, and you've done the most of it, the chunk of it, so well done already. Today's practice is going to be based around back bending. Now before you go, no, we're not going to do harsh back bends. When we practice back bends, the idea is to open up through the front of the body. So the chest or the belly, the hip flexors, the legs, maybe even all the way down to the ankles sometimes in some of our postures. Now usually we can get a little bit judgy with back bends, and sometimes people will think, no, that's not for me. And you're right, they might not be for you, and that's more than okay. However, I want to show you that back bends don't need to be scary. Back bends, there should be something for everybody. And believe it or not, our spine is actually designed to move in all directions, not just in a forward facing direction. So actually, doing backward motions with the spine is perfectly fine, perfectly normal. Obviously, as always, any injuries that you may have, we need to work with them and respect them. Any low back pain or anything like that, then please practice accordingly. You must listen to what your body is saying and asking of you. So today we're going to start our practice laying down in our Shavasana, please. So as you come down onto your mat, taking the feet out wider than hip distance, you know the score by now. Allow the shoulders to adjust away from the ears, and we're going to have the hands on the belly today. Spend a few seconds fidgeting, adjusting, and addressing any obvious tension in the body that maybe we can deal with right here, right now. And if we can't, don't worry, we've got a whole practice to go through to hopefully try and do that. Once your body has started to settle, once it's started to lose the urge to wriggle and to move, you're going to take a breath in through the nose and just fill up the lungs slowly. Maybe fill up the belly and exhale that breath away in any way that you like. With that exhalation, release any tension around the jaw or the forehead. Any tension in the throat, maybe just swallow and release those muscles. And then start to consciously breathe. Breathing the breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. So creating a nice little ebb and flow now. Watching the in-breath turn into the out-breath. In and out. In and out. Continue to follow and sink into that rhythm, allowing yourself to relax. Allowing the muscles to soften. And establishing and creating a lovely flow of breath. you've established a lovely flow of breath. Try and keep that consistent now as we add some movement. We'll start by taking a big stretch out over the head. Pointing the toes, shrugging the shoulders up towards the ears, maybe a little bit of a yawn or a sigh or a huff or a puff or anything that you feel the need to do here. And as you exhale, we're going to very slowly pull the knees in towards our chest. So pressing down through the lower back here, one hand on each knee, we're going to slowly start to open up these hips. Circle back in the opposite direction. And then we're going to extend the legs up the wall. We're going to point and flex the feet a couple of times, just waking up through the backs of the legs. And then we're going to just pull this right thigh towards us. Take a single breath and release, and see if the opposite thigh wants to come in a little bit. And then extending both legs back up the wall. Pressing down into the hands. As you exhale, we're going to lower the legs down. Now you might think, I thought we was doing back bending, not core. But it's really important that we warm all the core muscles up to help strengthen our back bends. Lifting up, we're going to do that twice more. Try and maintain breath as hard as it is, the lower those legs come down. And then pulling the right knee in towards the nose. Taking the left leg out to hover above the mat. Inhale. As you exhale, see if that thigh wants to draw in a little bit deeper. Then changing sides. Right leg long. Left knee in towards the nose. Don't worry if the knee doesn't come near the nose. And once back over to the other side. And back over. And then we're going to pull both knees in. Big squeeze. So in a moment we're going to come into our first back bend. And actually it's one that you've already done before. So they don't need to be scary. They can be from time to time. But it's very useful to look at how they make you feel. Do they make you feel scared? If so, that's interesting. Look at why. What is it? Where is that fear coming from? It's all part of self-study. It's all part of getting to know yourself a little bit better. So when you're ready, head and shoulders are going to come down. Soles of the feet are going to come to the mat. And the first one we're going to take is our bridge with our feet hip distance apart. Our arms are going to rest to the side of the body. And as you inhale, we're going to lift the hips into our first little back bend. So this is a back bend. This opens the front body. Hopefully it's not too scary. And as you exhale, we're going to roll the spine back down again nice and slowly. I'm going to go up 3 more times. Inhale to lift, to go up with the breath. And exhaling as you roll back down. Engaging the glutes as you find that lift. And then rolling back down. We're going to go up again, but this time we are going to hold. So we're going to press into the feet, lift through the hips, lift through the navel, and lift through the chest also. As you find a slightly deeper variation, we're going to pause, pressing into the ground with the hands and the feet. 3, 2, and 1. Then we're going to roll the spine down nice and slowly, vertebrae at a time, making sure the tailbone is the last to come down. Keeping your feet in the position that they're currently in, take your arms out wide to the side. Taking a breath as you exhale, let the knees fall to your left and your head to roll to your right hand side. Inhale into the right side of the body. As you exhale, let the shoulders relax. Breathe into the right side again. And relax. One more breath in our twist. Notice how this feels around your lower back, around the hips. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, taking the knees to the right and your head now to the left. And focusing the breath into this left side of the body. Watch the jaw. Inhale, coming back up. I'm going to bring the arms back down now. I'm going to walk your feet out about as wide as your mat is. I'm going to take a broken bridge now. So same principle as before, pressing down into the mat, pressing into the feet and lifting the hips. So the knees obviously are wider here. You might prefer this alignment over the other one. Just take note of which you do prefer. Some hips will prefer the narrower stance, some hips will prefer a slightly wider like we're in now. Keep pressing into the ground, keep lifting up through those hips, through the chest, and 3 more breaths. Remember, you can always come out sooner. You don't have to hold it for as long. You listen to your body, you come out when you're ready, you go back in when you're ready. So just leaving this last breath and then rolling the spine down nice and slowly with control. Pull the knees into the chest, rock yourself up and down. And we're going to rock up and over onto all fours, please. You've guessed it, a little bit of cat-cow to warm the spine up. Starting with the tailbone, grounding into the hands, lifting the tailbone up towards the ceiling, letting your belly drop towards the mat, heart forwards and up. As you exhale, tailbone lengthens, chin to chest, pressing the mat away from you, creating that rounding sensation in the spine. And it's actually the cow, which we're in now, is going to be our main point of focus. So it's the front body we're opening today. Exhaling into the back body, and we're going to take 3 more. Once you've completed the last round, you're going to drop yourself into a child's pose, so let the hips come down towards the heels and just feel a nice stretch across the back here as you breath by breath anchor and walk forwards with those fingertips. Inhale into the shoulders. As you exhale, let them relax. Inhale into the ribs. And exhale, let the heart soften. Send the breath all the way down into the lower back now. And then we're going to come into our second back bend, and we're going to come into our upward facing dog. Now just quickly, our upward facing dog is slightly different to our cobra. We touched upon cobra before. We're going to press into the hands, lift up, dropping the pubic bone down towards the mat. Feet are roughly hip distance. I prefer slightly wider. And the chest is forward as the shoulders draw back. My thighs are down, but if you want to pop your thighs up today, if you're feeling particularly energetic, pop them up. Shoulders drawing back and just enjoying this lovely little stretch. And this will target more into your lower back than your cobras will. We'll look at that in a moment. As you exhale, we're going to drop the hips back into our child's pose, and then slowly inhale as we lift up and exhale back into our upward facing dog. So we're going to just roll between child's pose and up dog for a few breaths, making sure we switch the glutes on as we come into that upward facing dog. Back into your child's pose. And slowly moving back and forth at your own pace. Don't worry if we go out of sync with one another, that's absolutely fine. As long as you're moving and breathing, we're all good. Twice more. Last one. And then we're going to tuck the toes and the hips and lift into our downward facing dog. Welcome some movement into your downward facing dog here. Notice the breath. Make sure you've got that lovely expansion in the belly as you're inhaling. As you exhale, really draw navel to spine. Look forwards between your hands. Walk, step or jump to the front of your mat, and we're going to take a ragdoll fold here where we just allow the upper body to fold over the lower parts of the body very softly, very passively. Let the shoulders find the weight, let them sink down. Loosen the jaw, loosen the neck, anything that needs a little bit of softening we're going to do here. You've got about another 3-4 breaths. Then we're going to roll this one up, one vertebrae at a time. Making sure the head is the last thing to come up. When the head is up, inhale, roll into the shoulders. Shoulders up and back. And roll back in the opposite direction. And then we're going to inhale, reach the arms up. As we exhale, we're going to cactus the arms and take it into standing back bend. Switching the glutes on, switching the core on to help protect the spine. As you exhale, bringing the hands to heart. Inhale, bringing the hands up. Exhale, open across the chest. Twice more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale, maybe pausing for an extra breath. And then we're going to fold all the way forwards now. Keeping the right foot where it is, we're going to step our left foot to the back of the mat. I'm going to come to a low lunge, but by all means, if you're feeling particularly energetic today and you want to stay in that high lunge position, you can. Inhale, we're going to we're not going to ring anybody, we're going to bring the arms up. As you exhale, pull the hands to the heart centre. Now we're going to slowly twist to the right, and then we're going to come back to centre. Slowly twist to the right, drawing the right elbow back, left elbow leads, back. This time, as you find that twist, you could choose to stay here or bring in the left elbow to the outside of your right thigh. Take a breath. As you exhale, maybe twisting a little bit deeper, shifting the gaze maybe towards the right elbow. And you have the option to stay here or maybe bring the left arm down, right arm opening up. You don't have to add any extras at all. From here, we're going to inhale, come into our low lunge. As you exhale, coming into that cactus back bend again. Inhale, reach the arms up. Now from here, we're going to take the left arm to the front of the mat and the right arm to the back. You could choose to stay here, or you could reach the right hand towards the back of the left thigh, towards the calf, or maybe towards the heel if you wanted a slightly deeper back bend. Check the breath, because if you stop breathing, then take it back to a variation where the breath can flow with ease. Inhale, coming out. As you exhale, bring the hands to the mat. Left knee is going to lift, right foot steps back. Drop down onto the knees. We're going to come into cobras now. So exhaling as we lower the chest down. Inhaling as the chest pulls forwards and up. Notice how you feel this a lot higher up in comparison to your upward facing dog. Exhale back down. 4 more cobras at your own pace. Inhale to lift. Exhale to melt. So these are all back bends. No back bend is better than the other one. They all do different things potentially. And as you exhale, coming back down, we're going to hover the hands and take a floating cobra. So we're going to press into your feet. Inhale, lift in the chest. 3, 2, maybe find a bit more room. And 1. Hands to the mat, lift the hips back into our downward facing dog. Look ahead, walk, step or jump to the front of the mat. Inhale, coming all the way up. As you exhale, we're going to take those cactus arm positions. Bringing the hands behind the back now, linking the fingers together. Exhaling as we fold, bringing a little bit more opening into the shoulders now. Inhale. Exhale, soften. Dropping the hands to the mat, keeping your left foot where it is. Stepping your right foot to the back now, right knee down. Inhaling as we come up into our lunge. Exhaling as we cactus the arms, open the heart space, pressing the palms together. Take a breath as you exhale. Bring the left elbow towards the back of the mat, right elbow forwards in your twist. Back to centre. Twisting again. Back to centre. And last one, either holding here or bringing that right elbow into the outside of your left thigh now. Same option to either keep the palms together or separate the palms, right arm down, left arm towards the ceiling. Take another breath. Inhale, releasing your twist. Exhale, right arm forward, left arm to the back. Option to hold it here or reach back like we did on the other side, creating our little back bend here. I say little, it's not actually that little at all. When you're ready, coming back, inhaling the arms up, exhale the hands to the mat. Right knee lifts, step the left foot into your plank. Now we're going to take a chaturanga into Shalabhasana, which is also a back bend. So bring the arms to the side. Inhale, lifting the chest, lifting the thighs. 3, 2, 1. Good job. Hands to the mat. Coming onto all fours. Maybe walking the hands underneath slightly so they're more stacked underneath the shoulders. We're going to then inhale. Press the right sole of the foot up towards the ceiling. Shift the gaze forwards and up. You can either stay here or we're going to create, you guessed it, another back bend, grabbing that right foot with the left hand. Press the foot into the hand, lifting through the chest. And around 3 breaths, but you can come out sooner or you can stay longer. When you're ready to release, do so nice and slowly. Maybe pause before we move to the other side, and when you're ready, left sole of the foot lifts up. Option to stay here or reaching now, finding the foot and pressing the foot into the hand. You can see now how it's creating that back bend shape. You might feel tightness in your hips, in your shoulders. Everything's connected. Sometimes tight shoulders stop us doing back bends, sometimes tight hips do. So it can be a number of things, so try not to tell yourself that you're not very good at them. And coming back down when you're ready. I'm going to take a puppy pose now, and keeping the hips over the knees. We've already done this. But again, another example of a really nice subtle back bend. Allowing the chest to drop towards the mat, forehead to the ground. 3, 2, one. Stay longer if you need. If not, we're going to come back into our downward facing dog, and we're going to take this into a back bend called Wild Thing. And it can sometimes be a little bit scary, but it doesn't need to be. Take your time, breathe, have faith in yourself. So from here, we're going to lift the right leg. And if you don't want to be wild today, you don't have to. We're going to bend the knee and stack the hip. And you might think, actually today this is where I need to be, in which case you stay here. If you want to come into your wild thing, we're going to very slowly let this right foot come all the way behind us. The left foot will start to swivel, let it. And then the right arm, the hips can lift into your wild thing. This one probably is a little bit more scary than some of the others. It's more the transition coming in. If you don't feel ready for it, that's absolutely fine. Stay open in that hip in your downward dog. We're going to take another breath. And as you exhale very slowly, bringing the right hand back, right leg meets your left, and then we'll move that straight to the other side. Inhale, lifting the left leg. Bending the knee. Choosing whether you want to stay here or not, which is perfectly fine if you do. And if you don't, let the left toes fall, lifting through the hips, lifting through the heart, reaching and extending to the left side of the body, and really pressing away from the mat into that right hand. When you are ready, you can very slowly come back out, bringing hands back to the ground, and then we're going to pop down onto the knees. Let the hips sink down and come in to your child's pose. 4 to 5 breaths. Once your breath is steady, is calm, walk the hands back up. So well done. Back bends don't need to be scary. Sometimes they are, and that's okay, but sometimes fear in our practice is not necessarily a bad thing. It's interesting. It allows us to look at how we respond to fear in a safe environment. And so don't stress if back bends are not for you, that's fine. I have students that have been practicing with me for years and they just choose not to do them. It's not for them. It doesn't mean they're bad at yoga. It actually probably means that they're really good at it because they understand their wants and their needs and what works for them and what doesn't. So we're going to swing the legs around now. Just take a seated twist. I did say you didn't need props today, but if you do need a little elevation for your hips, grab that. But we're not going to be here for too long. We're going to inhale, reach the arms up. As you exhale, take a twist, bringing your right hand to your left knee and your left hand behind you. Really looking for that lovely length in the spine. That way we can find more room to twist in. Let the back shoulder relax away from the ear. 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, find that nice tall spine. Exhale, twist to the other side. Staying as open as you can across the chest. Soften the shoulders. And then we're going to come back to centre. We're going to walk the hands out in front of us just to counteract some of those back bends. Just let the hands melt forward. You can allow your head to bow. Keep the tailbone working towards the mat and the sit bones down. And then we're going to take a little walk around to one side with the fingertips. Breathe into the lengthened open side of the body. And then take a little wander back around to the other side. Once you've walked back to centre, we're going to walk the hands back up, uncross the legs, recross them, and we're going to do the exact same. Walking the hands forward, breathing in. So you might feel more discomfort on this side because this isn't your natural side of comfort. And then walking around to one side, looking for that side opening. And then we're going to walk the hands back to centre and around to the other side. And then back to centre. Walking the hands back up. So you should have a little bit more movement in the spine now. Inhale, reaching the arms up. Nice lift through the chest. As you exhale, putting the hands down to the body, one hand on the chest, one to the belly. Draw your awareness in, close the eyes and breathe into both hands. Inhale. Extend your exhalation. Inhale. Lengthen the exhalation. Continue to do that. Now this next exhalation, take it as long as you can through the mouth. Then closing your palms together at your heart centre. And as we bow the chin into the chest, take a moment of gratitude for yourself and your practice. But also a moment of gratitude for your courage, because opening up the front body takes courage. So thank yourself, and then we can close here, and if you wish, feel free to bow the chin in with me. Thank you so much, guys, for sharing 12 days of your precious time with me, and I can't wait to see you for 13. Unlucky for some, but hopefully not us, and I'll see you soon. Bye.